do. All right, that's done. Is that all we need? Hang on. I lost something here. All right. I touched the wrong button and it disappeared. Okay. Okay. This is the local government by county agencies subcommittee meeting. It's 4 o'clock on Monday afternoon. And we have an agenda. We have 6 bills to take up. I thought what we could do first is we have 3 sheriff salaries bills. If we could take those, because I don't think there's any controversy about any of these 3. We'll see. We'll start with 668. That's the Anne Arundel County Sheriff salary.
No objections. Move the bill.
Are we waiting for a summary? Because I'll move it.
We'll let Ben at least explain what it does.
Okay, thanks, Chair Healy. The sponsor is favorable. The Senate cross-file passed unanimous without amendments. There's no state fiscal impact. Testimony was all favorable, unanimous delegation vote. The bill alters the salary of the sheriff in Anne Arundel County to be equal to the salary of a captain in the police department at step 20 in the pay scale. And that's needed to coincide with today's economy and responsibilities per Delegate Pruski.
All right. There's a motion to move the bill without amendments.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say no. All right, the ayes have it. That was painless. Let's move on to House Bill 1213, Baltimore County Sheriff's salary. Ben?
Okay, thank you, Chair Healy. One second. So this was unanimous by the delegation. The Senate cross-file is still in committee. There's an amendment to replace the delegate pasture with the delegation. There's no state fiscal impact, and the testimony is all favorable from the county, and it sets out the salary of the Baltimore County Sheriff for each year up to 2029, and then subsequent years requiring a will be established by the council in its budget.
All right, so is there any controversy about this? We have an amendment for, is the delegation in support of the amendment?
Yes.
And what does the amendment do?
The amendment replaces the sponsor with the delegation's name.
Oh, okay, so it becomes a delegation bill. Okay, got it. Eddie, is there a motion on the amendment? Just to change the sponsor of the bill to the delegation.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
Delegate Lane may have a question.
Pardon me?
I think Delegate Lane may have a question.
You have a question about that amendment?
Yeah, the question is about the 3 sheriffs increase bills. I wanted to make sure I understood, if I understand right, are all of them not due to take effect until after the next election? Like they won't get these increases right now?
Ben?
Is that true?
So I'm seeing in the Anne Arundel County Sheriff one, there's a special section that it's not while they're serving in a term of, let's see, the act may not be construed to extend to the sheriff's compensation while in office, beginning before the effective date of this act. So I think that's what that's trying to contemplate there. And then I can look at the other 2.
Well, look at the one we have before us, and then we'll take the third one when we get to it. rather
Okay.
than doing them all at once.
Yeah, so 1213, it has that same language where it may not be construed to extend to the salary or compensation while serving a term in office, beginning before the effective date of this act. So,
Okay, so does that satisfy you, Mary? Okay, all those in favor of the amendment to change the sponsor of the bill, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it on the bill as amended.
Move the bill, Madam Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Say no. The ayes have it. That bill has pass and will go to the full committee. The next one is the last sheriff's salary on this agenda, House Bill 906, Garrett County Sheriff Salary Alteration. Ben,
Thank you, Chair Healy. Is that a unanimous delegation vote? The Senate cross-file is voted out without amendments. There's no state fiscal impact. The testimony is all favorable. The testimony added that currently Garrett County Sheriff is one of the lowest, if not lowest paid sheriff in the state. And the request to pay the sheriff 80% of the state's attorney's salary is similar to other counties.
okay. Is there any discussion? Is there a motion? Let's see if there's any
Motion moved.
discussion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion on this one? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it, so we have passed all three of those sheriff salary bills. Now we can go back to House Bill 839, Carroll County Contracts and Purchasing. Ben, would you explain what the bill does, please?
Okay, thank you, Chair Healy. So it had a unanimous vote by delegation. The Senate cross-file passed unanimous without amendments. There's no state fiscal impact. The testimony is all favorable with a clarifying amendment. The bill raises the contract value threshold from 25 to 50,000, above which the commissioners for Carroll County need to give advance public notice and use competitive bidding to purchase supplies and equipment for public works. The amendment, as I mentioned, was clarifying. It just replaces what was in the bill. I mean, I can pull it up if you want. It's replaces the chief of the Bureau of Purchasing with procurement officer, because that is like a more commonly understood term.
And everybody supports that amendment?
Yes,
The count,
and
the delegation, all those?
that's right. And that amendment was it was adopted
Adopted by,
by
who?
budget and taxation.
In the Senate.
Let me triple check on that. Yeah, it was adopted. Yeah,
In the Senate with the amendment.
that's right.
Now, is there a motion on the amendment?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of the amendment, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? No, okay, on the bill as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it. That's favorable as well with an amendment. And next is House Bill 1024 WSSC. Ben, would you explain the bill?
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Chair Healy. So the bill, it had a unanimous vote in delegation. There's no Senate cross-file. There's no state fiscal impact. The testimony was all favorable. It expands WSSC's Connection Pipe Emergency Replacement Loan Program to include sewer pipes and diagnostic actions. It increases from 5,000 to 10,000, the maximum loan a customer is eligible to receive. It increases from 1 million to 2 million, the maximum total loans that the WSSC can provide. And it increases from 100 to 200,000, the amount WSSC must include in the program's annual budget. I can give you more background on that program if you want, but
Are there any amendments?
no amendments.
Okay, is there a motion? Is
So moved.
there a second?
Second.
This has been moved and seconded. Any questions about this bi-county bill? If not, then we'll take a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it. So we're all set with that one. And we move on to the last bill of the day, which is House Bill 165, Local Government Annual Audit Reporting Requirements. This is Delegate Jazz Lewis's bill, but the cross file in the Senate has already passed the Senate, and it had an amendment which changes it somewhat, and I know I spoke to Delegate Lewis. He supports the Senate amendments, so if Ben could explain the bill and what the amendments do.
Yeah, thanks, Chair Haley. I can pull up the amendment if that's helpful.
Okay,
Okay, cool. 1 second. Okay, so one second. So this addresses the oversight issue with the timely submission of audits by counties and municipalities. It imposes financial penalties through reduction of specified state aid payments for failures by local governments to submit audited financial reports within a certain deadline. The sponsor, as you mentioned, was favorable with amendments. The Senate cross-file voted out this amendment 13-0. There's no state fiscal impact, although spending or funding may be reduced for local governments who fail to submit their reports in time. It has a local government mandate. And so, let's see, turning to the reprint now. The bill, under current law, there is authorizing language for, most of this is on page 3 of the amendments. Under current law, there's authorizing language where if reports are more than a year delayed, the DLS has authority to order the comptroller to withhold state funds, taxes, those types of things. Under the amendments, it requires the holding of funds if reports are 2 years late. So you can see the change there. And let's see, it also strikes out police aid, which previously was included. So now it doesn't apply to that. The amendment makes this prospective only. So that's the second page here. This act shall apply beginning with fiscal year 2024 audits. So nothing that's past due already. Yep. There was testimony about from like the MACO and MML, but these amendments. Yeah.
MACO and MML were invited to be here to answer questions. Are they in the waiting room? Emma, can you come on and answer my question? I can't hear you.
I can admit Justin if you'd like, Chair.
Okay, yeah, go
I think
ahead.
he's in.
Okay, great. That's terrific. Justin, good to see
Hi.
you. I don't know that MML has gotten online or not, have they? We invited
Madam Chair, I am here.
Oh, you are? Oh, good. Wonderful. Where are you? I was looking for your face. Are you on your camera?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, yeah, Justin's on. I just wondered if there was somebody from MACO as well. But I don't see them. All right. Well, Justin, now you've seen the amendments. I know that they were took a little while for people to get a chance to see them. Do you have any reaction to them on behalf of MML?
Thank you for the opportunity first. I do believe this makes the bill functionally better, but we still would like to see this done on a case-by-case basis with some level of discretion. While noted that right now DLS can let the comptroller know to withhold funds, it's also possible for the General Assembly through its budget practice to withhold funds for this very reason, and they have done so within the last 10 years. In 2017, funds were held from Marydell and from Deer Park for not turning in their audits on time. So we tend to be in the belief that this is a function of the Joint Committee and the Management of Public Funds, and that this should be done with discretion. Anytime you're withholding significant funding from a jurisdiction like this, it should not, in our opinion, be done on a blanket basis. So we would ask preferably for amendments that provide more context to decision makers. Right now, when DLS goes through the process and asks for the audits, if the audit is not turned in, there really isn't a dialogue at that point as to why, how long it's going to take, maybe what are some of the hurdles. And we feel that that's maybe important information that's missing for decision makers when they're trying to figure out, do we need to impose penalties because this jurisdiction's 2 years behind, 3 years behind, or are they behind because of a perfect storm and clearly they're moving in the right direction. They're about to break through. Do we need to mandate a penalty here that you really can't take back once you put it on? So that's kind of our position, why we've been supportive of amendments, but we really do think this should be case by case.
Thank you very much. We're going to let you just move back into the waiting room and observe what's going on as we discuss this now. Thank you. If you could, thank you so much. Is he back in the waiting room? Ben? I can't.
I believe so.
Okay, very good. Very good. So let's see, is there a motion on the amendments from the Senate?
Move
Hello?
favorable.
Move favorable on the amendments. Is there a second? On the amendment?
Second.
Okay, on the Senate amendments, all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay, just on the bill as amended, is there a motion?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, after we get the motion on the board, we'll have.
I
this-
move favorable as amended.
Second.
Okay, yes, now we'll have discussion. Delegate Morgan, go ahead. I can't hear you. You have to, you're muted.
I got you. I'm sorry. I think Jacob's up here. What is precipitate? I mean, my question is rhetorical, sort of, if you can't get your audit done in 2 or 3 years, why not? And then I think what Justin said is, well, it should be on a case-by-case basis, but government doesn't exactly move swiftly. I get that part. But why would you be 2 to 3 years behind on your audit? I mean, I ran a company for years. You get behind your audit. They didn't like that. And they came after you. If you get behind on your taxes for a year, they come after you. Now we're doing an audit. And oh, by the way, maybe there's some circumstances where they can be 2 to 3 years behind. So teach this dog something, please.
Well, from my perspective, I saw the amendments. The amendments actually extend it to 3 years. So there's an extra time. And it also, as I understand it, and I'm going to ask Ben to verify this, that it also will give them it takes the police aid off the chopping block for this, and it will be basically just the highway user money that would be in jeopardy for whatever period of time until they get their act together after 3 years. That's my understanding, and I don't know if that is correct or not. Please, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong about that.
That was right. It strikes police aid.
Okay. Are there any other? Oh, yes, Delegate Baker. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. So just to be clear, they will no longer be holding any money to any of the funding for the police departments, correct?
That's the amendment we adopted, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Delegate Jacobs, you had your hand up earlier?
Yeah, my hand got tired. I had to put it down. So we went from 1 to 3 years, actually, in this amendment as well, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, I can see, I understand MML's point because Marydale was in my district and I know I remember that case pretty well. There was some issues with the town government officials themselves. But and Mako's not on here because I know Mako, according to this, was I believe they were opposed. Yeah, they were unfavorable on when the bill came in. So we don't know where they are now. Is that correct?
They haven't reached out to me, and we did extend an invitation to them to be on this call. But I'm obviously, if I hear something between now and when we vote in the full committee, I will let you know.
All right, thank you.
Anything else? Oh, Delegate Baker, you have another question, or you just not take your hand down yet? Okay.
My hand never gets tired.
Okay. Delegate Davis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. 2 things. The sponsor is still supportive of the amendments.
Correct.
And the second thing is this bill makes it prospective. So if you're already 2 years behind, how does that affect you?
Delegate, I'm sorry, Ben, would you explain what the amendments do to this? Answer
Yeah.
the Delegate's question.
Yep, thank you, Chair. So regarding prospective, that there's one of the amendments adds language that says this act shall apply beginning with the fiscal year 2024 audits that are required. So that's right, prospective, not looking back.
So if they're already 2 years behind, they're gonna be allowed to be 3 years behind based on a new bill. Is that what I understand? 3 additional years.
I think that it's particularly for the audits. So maybe it's helpful, like if there's the 2022 audit, that's already late. I don't think it would apply to that. I think it applies only with the fiscal year 24 audits and ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Good questions. Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are we ready to vote? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it. And with the bill as amended passes, and that is the end of our agenda for today. So thank you very much for being here, being on time, participating so assiduously, and we'll, stay tuned. I don't know when we're going to meet again. All right,
See you in a while, guys.
we're adjourned. Okay.